In a striking shift that has captured global attention, Saudi Arabia is undergoing a profound transformation, moving from a region often characterized by conflict to one poised as a potential mediator in international affairs. Under the leadership of Crown Prince Muhammad bin Salman, the kingdom is embracing a new era, shedding its image as a troublemaker and stepping into the role of peacemaker, a change that could reshape the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. Historically, Saudi Arabia's foreign policy has been shaped by its oil wealth and a commitment to traditional alliances, particularly with the United States. However, the recent years have seen a dramatic pivot. The Saudi government is actively engaging in dialogues with regional adversaries, including Iran, and is making efforts to stabilize its relationships with neighboring countries. These shifts are not merely reactive. They reflect a strategic vision aimed at diversifying the kingdom's economic dependencies and enhancing its global standing. One of the most significant aspects of this transformation is the ambitious Vision 2030 initiative, which seeks to reduce the nation's reliance on oil revenue by fostering growth in sectors like tourism, entertainment, and technology. This initiative is not without its challenges. Analysts have noted that while the diversification efforts are commendable, they could also create economic distortions as the kingdom navigates its new identity. Not your father's kingdom, as The Economist aptly put it, underscores the dramatic societal changes taking place. Saudi Arabia's young population is increasingly demanding modernity and opportunities that extend beyond the confines of traditional expectations. Crown Prince bin Salman has been pivotal in this metamorphosis, often promoting himself as a reformer willing to challenge the status quo. His approach has garnered both support and skepticism on the global stage. Many are cautiously optimistic about this newfound openness, hoping it will lead to more stable and peaceful relations in a region long plagued by discord. The potential for Saudi Arabia to act as a mediator in regional conflicts is unprecedented, commented a Middle Eastern diplomatic source. This sentiment reflects a growing belief that the kingdom's unique position could foster dialogue between long-standing adversaries. However, the road ahead is fraught with complexity. The kingdom must balance its rapid modernization with the conservative elements within its society. The push toward a more open economy and society could lead to tensions as traditionalists react to the pace of change. Observers are keenly watching how these dynamics unfold, especially as they could determine the success of Vision 2030. As Saudi Arabia positions itself as a potential hub for diplomacy, its influence on global oil markets remains a critical factor. The kingdom's ability to manage its OPEC commitments while pursuing its broader economic goals will be pivotal. Should it succeed, Saudi Arabia may well redefine its role from merely being a significant oil exporter to a key player in global economic and political discourse. Looking ahead, the implications of Saudi Arabia's transformation extend beyond its borders. Should the kingdom stabilize its internal dynamics while fostering diplomatic ties, it could inspire similar movements in other nations within the region. The world will be observing closely as this once reclusive nation steps into the spotlight, offering a glimpse of a potentially peaceful future in the Middle East, contingent upon the successful navigation of its internal and external challenges. The evolution of Saudi Arabia stands as a testament to the possibilities of change amidst historical complexities, and the coming years will be crucial in determining whether this transformation can endure. In an era marked by profound societal shifts, the concept of motherhood has come to symbolize both nurturing and resilience amidst turmoil. As we navigate through 2025, the complexities surrounding motherhood are increasingly illuminated, particularly in the context of societal expectations and personal relationships. Recent discussions highlight that Mother's Day, while often celebrated as a joyous occasion, can also evoke a spectrum of emotions and experiences that challenge the traditional narratives surrounding motherhood. A poignant reminder of this complexity comes from a piece published in the Courier Journal, which emphasizes that not all experiences of motherhood are positive. The article urges readers to reconsider the notion that Mother's Day is universally happy. Relationships are complicated, it states, suggesting that many individuals may grapple with their feelings toward the day due to strained family dynamics or personal loss. This sentiment resonates deeply as it reflects the reality that societal celebrations often overlook the nuanced experiences of many mothers, particularly those who may feel isolated or misunderstood. In a related vein, the Manchester Journal explores the theme of mothering during times of societal unraveling. The piece delves into how external pressures such as economic instability, political strife, and social upheaval impact mothers and their families. Mothering in a time of unraveling requires not just love but also resilience, the article notes, emphasizing the dual role mothers play as caregivers and stabilizers in uncertain times. This duality poses significant challenges, as mothers must navigate their own emotional landscapes while providing for their children's needs amidst external chaos. The implications of these narratives extend beyond individual households. They highlight broader societal patterns that affect family structures and mental health. Experts suggest that a greater awareness of the pressures faced by mothers can lead to more supportive community environments. As one psychologist noted, understanding the struggles of mothers is crucial for fostering healthier family dynamics and, by extension, a more cohesive society. Moreover, the conversation around motherhood intersects with ongoing global issues, including the rise of violence and conflict as seen in the recent allegations against prominent figures in international contexts. Reports suggest that allegations against political leaders, such as those involving Israeli former Prime Minister Imran Khan, are intertwined with broader societal trends where mothers and families are often caught in the crossfire of political and social upheavals. The implications of such events underscore the need for systemic changes that prioritize the well-being of families. As we look toward the future, it is clear that the dialogue surrounding motherhood will continue to evolve. With a growing recognition of the multifaceted challenges mothers face, there is an opportunity for advocacy and policy reform aimed at supporting families more holistically. The ongoing conversations around mental health, community support, and the recognition of diverse maternal experiences signal a shift towards a more inclusive understanding of motherhood. In conclusion, the narratives surrounding motherhood in 2025 reveal a tapestry of resilience, complexity, and the need for societal change. As we celebrate Mother's Day and reflect on the role of mothers, it is essential to acknowledge the diverse experiences that shape their lives. The future holds promise for a deeper understanding and support for mothers everywhere as society continues to grapple with its evolving dynamics. In a surprising turn of events, President Donald Trump recently withdrew his nomination of Dr. Jennifer Neshiwat for Surgeon General, replacing her with Dr. Casey Means, a 37-year-old wellness influencer and co-founder of a health tech startup. This decision has sparked debate over the qualifications required to serve as the nation's doctor, as Dr. Means' background is atypical for someone in such a crucial public health role. Dr. Neshiwat, a medical director with an urgent care company in New York City, had already drawn scrutiny due to her past, including her medical training at a Caribbean institution, a fact that was brought to light just weeks before her nomination was rescinded. Notably, her ties to the Trump administration were questioned by detractors, including far-right commentator Laura Loomer, who criticized her for being involved in a medical malpractice case and for her pro-vaccine stance. Trump's praise for Dr. Means upon announcing her nomination highlighted her impeccable MAHA credentials, which stands for Metabolic, Aesthetic, Holistic, and Ancestral Health. He described her academic achievements and life's work as absolutely outstanding, suggesting that she has the potential to be one of the finest surgeon generals in U.S. history. However, the health community is divided on Dr. Means' qualifications. She holds a medical degree from Stanford University and completed her residency in ear, nose, and throat surgery before pivoting to functional medicine, an approach that emphasizes holistic care over traditional medical practices. This shift raised concerns among public health experts, especially since her Oregon medical license lapsed during her career transition. Critics have pointed out that while continuous glucose monitoring (CGM) technology, which her company Levels promotes as beneficial for managing diabetes, its efficacy for healthy individuals remains unproven. Dr. means ties to Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. add another layer of complexity to her nomination. She has publicly supported Kennedy's controversial views regarding vaccinations and the food industry, further alienating traditional public health advocates. In interviews, she has expressed a desire for more individualized health choices, even advocating for consumption of raw milk, which has been a contentious subject in health discussions. The role of the Surgeon General, historically filled by highly experienced public health officials, requires providing Americans with the best scientific information to improve health and reduce illness risk. This has historically included significant public health campaigns, such as the landmark 1964 report on the dangers of smoking by former Surgeon General Luther Terry. Modern-day Surgeons General like C. Everett Koop have defined their roles by prioritizing science over politics, often facing resistance from political administrations wary of their independence. With Trump's current nomination of Dr. means, the administration appears to signal that traditional credentials may not be a priority. This raises questions about how the public will perceive her authority and the credibility of her recommendations, especially given the ongoing public health challenges posed by COVID-19 and other pressing health issues. Dr. Mean's confirmation journey could be fraught with challenges as criticism from both within and outside her support network emerges. Some of her supporters believe she does not align closely enough with anti-vaccine sentiments, while science-based advocacy groups argue she is unqualified for the role. As her confirmation hearings approach, the health community watches closely to see how the balance of scientific credibility and political influence will shape the future of public health leadership in the United States. As the nation navigates an increasingly complex health landscape, the implications of Dr. Mean's potential appointment as Surgeon General may reverberate beyond her individual qualifications, reflecting broader trends in health policy and the ongoing struggle between science and misinformation in public discourse, in an unexpected shift that could reshape the landscape of global healthcare philanthropy. Bill Gates announced that the Gates Foundation will conclude its operations by December 31, 2045. This revelation, made during the Foundation's 25th anniversary celebration, marks a significant pivot in its mission and strategy. With a commitment of over $200 billion dedicated to global health and human development over the next 2 decades, the Foundation aims to tackle preventable deaths, eradicate infectious diseases, and alleviate poverty, particularly in Africa. Gates emphasized that the Foundation's objectives could be met within a shorter timeframe than previously anticipated. "We believe that with the right resources and focus we can achieve substantial progress on our central goals," he stated. The announcement comes at a critical juncture when the global health landscape is being challenged by reduced funding from other sources, notably the United States. A recent study published in The Lancet projects dire consequences from cuts to American foreign aid, estimating that up to 500,000 children could face preventable deaths due to reduced support for health initiatives like PEPFAR, the U.S. program combating HIV/AIDS. The Foundation's renewed strategy includes 3 primary goals: eliminating preventable deaths among mothers and children, eradicating infectious diseases such as typhoid and malaria, and addressing poverty through agricultural improvements. Gates pinpointed maternal mortality as a critical focus, aiming to have deaths from preventable causes associated with pregnancy. "No mom, child, or baby should die from preventable causes," he asserted, underscoring the Foundation's commitment to improving maternal health. In the realm of infectious diseases, Gates announced innovative developments, including a genetic cure for HIV and a new injectable treatment that offers women 6 months of protection. The Foundation is also working to reduce the cost of essential medications to improve accessibility, with efforts to make a new HIV drug available for as little as $2. Moreover, Gates highlighted the pivotal role of artificial intelligence in advancing the Foundation's goals. He referred to AI as a magic wand that could facilitate breakthroughs in health systems, agriculture, and education. "While I wish I didn't have to rely on that magic wand, I guarantee you it is real," Gates remarked, suggesting a vision of leveraging technology for transformative impacts over the next 20 years. As the Gates Foundation embarks on this ambitious path, the implications for global healthcare appear profound. With a strategic focus on high-impact areas and a significant financial commitment, Gates aims to leave a legacy that not only addresses immediate health challenges but also lays the groundwork for sustainable development. The Foundation's final chapter promises to be one of urgency and innovation, raising hopes for a healthier future in regions that have long been underserved. Looking ahead, the global community will be watching closely as the Gates Foundation executes this plan. The effectiveness of its initiatives and the ability to mobilize resources in an increasingly complex geopolitical landscape will be critical to achieving its goals. As the world grapples with ongoing health crises and funding challenges, Gates' commitment to philanthropy could inspire a renewed focus on tackling health inequities and fostering resilience in vulnerable populations. In a significant development, high-stakes trade negotiations between the United States and China commenced over the weekend in Geneva, Switzerland, with both sides expressing cautious optimism. President Donald Trump characterized the initial day of discussions as a very good meeting, indicating a potential thaw in the ongoing trade war that has rattled global markets and disrupted supply chains. The talks, led by U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng, are the first in-person negotiations since the imposition of steep tariffs on each other's goods, which have reached levels of 145% and 125% respectively. A total reset negotiated in a friendly but constructive manner, Trump stated in a post on Truth Social, emphasizing the need for greater access for American businesses in China. The president's assertion of great progress made reflects a desire to shift the narrative surrounding the trade conflict, which has escalated significantly in the past years, leading to tariffs that threaten to obliterate 90% of bilateral trade, according to estimates from Bloomberg Economics. The urgency of these negotiations is underscored by economic pressures on both nations. The trade war has already had a measurable impact, with shipping volumes from China to the U.S. declining sharply and American consumers facing potential product shortages. By contrast, Chinese exports to the U.S. have plummeted by 21%, while trade with other markets, particularly the European Union, has increased, demonstrating Beijing's adaptability in the face of tariffs. As the discussions unfolded, the Chinese state-run Xinhua news agency described the talks as an important step in pushing toward a resolution, while also asserting China's commitment to safeguarding its national interests. This dual approach highlights the delicate balance both sides must navigate as they seek to establish common ground amidst deeply entrenched positions. Experts note that while the U.S. is focused on securing concessions from China, Beijing views the trade conflict as part of a broader strategy by the U.S. to contain its rise as a global economic power. Amidst these tensions, both nations project a facade of confidence, yet the stakes are high. The consequences of continued discord could exacerbate existing economic vulnerabilities, with the U.S. economy already showing signs of contraction for the first time since 2022. Analysts warn that without a resolution, consumer goods shortages may become prevalent, affecting jobs in sectors such as trucking, logistics, and retail. The Federal Reserve has also expressed concerns about rising uncertainty in the economic landscape. Trump's administration has indicated that tariffs will not be fully lifted without significant Chinese concessions. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick stated that while tariffs may be adjusted, substantial levies are expected to remain. This reflects a broader strategy of leveraging tariffs as a bargaining chip in negotiations, a tactic the president has repeatedly underscored in public statements. As the talks continue, the outcome remains uncertain. With both sides aware of the far-reaching implications of their negotiations, the future of U.S.-China trade relations hangs in the balance. Observers will be closely monitoring the developments, particularly as both nations seek to avoid further escalation that could lead to deeper economic ramifications globally. In conclusion, the Geneva talks represent a crucial opportunity for both the U.S. and China to chart a new course in their economic relationship. The path forward will require not only patience and determination but also a willingness from both parties to make concessions. As the world watches, the next steps taken in these negotiations could redefine the future of international trade and economic collaboration. In a surprising revelation that could change the way we understand athletic performance, researchers have identified air pollution as a significant yet often overlooked factor that affects marathon runners across the United States. A recent study published in the Sports Medicine Journal has highlighted how even minor increases in air pollution are correlated with slower race times, particularly affecting those runners who are faster than the median but not quite elite competitors. As marathon runners strive for personal bests or qualifying times for prestigious events like the Boston Marathon, every second counts. The study, reported by Scientific American, specifically examined the impact of fine particulate matter known as PM 2.5 on marathon finishing times across 9 different U.S. races. This type of pollution, which can stem from sources ranging from vehicle emissions to wildfires, is especially concerning because it can be present at levels deemed safe by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency (EPA), yet still has a measurable negative impact on performance. Using a sophisticated machine learning model, the researchers were able to provide a more accurate assessment of air quality along marathon courses than traditional remote weather stations. Their findings were striking. A mere increase of 1 microgram per cubic meter in PM 2.5 levels resulted in a slowdown of 32 seconds for male runners and 25 seconds for female runners. This effect was most pronounced among runners who fell into the middle tier of speed, suggesting that those who are less conditioned to elite levels may be particularly vulnerable to the adverse effects of air pollution. The implications of these findings extend beyond mere race times. Matthew Ely, a researcher involved in the study, emphasized the broader health risks associated with exercising in polluted environments. "We all know that exercise is important to us," he noted, posing the critical question. "Is this something that we have to pay more attention to?" The study suggests that even at what are considered safe pollution levels, the negative impact on athletic performance and overall health could be more severe than previously acknowledged. This revelation underscores the urgency of addressing air quality issues in urban areas, especially for athletes who train and compete in those environments. The researchers advocate for stricter regulations on pollutants, recommending measures such as increasing the adoption of electric vehicles, improving public transportation, and transitioning to renewable energy sources. These changes are essential not only for the benefit of runners but for the health of the general population. As athletes and health experts reflect on these findings, there is a clear call to action. Future research will likely delve deeper into the physiological mechanisms that hinder performance in polluted air. And policymakers may need to reconsider air quality standards to protect both public health and athletic performance. As marathons continue to draw participants from all walks of life, the intersection of environmental health and athleticism will remain a critical area of focus in the ongoing discussion about how best to support both human performance and the planet's health. In a world increasingly focused on early childhood education and outdoor exploration, the Bonnyvale Environmental Education Center (BC) is taking a significant step forward with its upcoming Little Explorers Nature Playgroup. Scheduled for May 12, 2025, this free event aims to engage children aged 3 to 5 and their caregivers in a series of enriching outdoor activities. Participants will embark on nature walks led by a BEC naturalist educator, allowing them to immerse themselves in the beauty of the natural world while fostering curiosity and discovery. The Little Explorers program is designed not only to encourage physical activity through exploration but also to cultivate a love for nature from an early age. Attendees can look forward to a variety of seasonal songs, stories, and crafts, all centered around the theme of nature. "We believe in the power of nature to inspire young minds," said a representative from BEC. "Our goal is to create a space where children can learn through play and observation, laying the foundation for lifelong environmental stewardship." The importance of outdoor learning experiences has been well documented, with studies suggesting that children who engage with nature show improved cognitive function, emotional well-being, and social skills. The program aligns with current educational trends that emphasize experiential learning as a critical component of childhood development. By integrating songs, stories, and crafts, the Little Explorers initiative aims to create a holistic learning environment that nurtures creativity and critical thinking. Hosting the event at the Bonnie Vale Environmental Education Center located in Brattleboro, Vermont provides the perfect backdrop for these activities. The center's diverse natural habitats offer ample opportunities for exploration, ensuring that each session is unique and filled with discovery. We are excited to welcome families to our center and provide them with an opportunity to explore the wonders of nature together, the BC representative added. As communities continue to recognize the value of outdoor education programs like the Little Explorers Nature Playgroup are likely to gain traction. With a focus on fostering curiosity and responsibility toward the environment. The event not only enriches the lives of children but also involves caregivers in the learning process, creating an inclusive and supportive community atmosphere. Looking ahead, BC plans to expand its offerings, potentially introducing more programs that cater to different age groups and interests. The success of the Little Explorers initiative could serve as a model for similar programs across the country, inspiring a new generation of environmentally conscious individuals. As families gather to explore and learn, the seeds of curiosity planted today could lead to a more sustainable future tomorrow. In recent years, the landscape of global politics has undergone a significant transformation, particularly regarding the United States' commitment to promoting democracy abroad. Under the administration of former President Donald Trump, initiatives that once positioned the U.S. as a beacon of freedom have diminished, raising concerns about the implications for international democratic movements. This shift has been particularly palpable since Trump prioritized an America First agenda over traditional foreign policy approaches that advocated for human rights and democratic governance. The decline of U.S. support for democracy promotion can be traced back to a broader strategic pivot that characterized Trump's presidency. Notably, Trump's rhetoric often emphasized a departure from multilateralism, which he argued had failed to serve American interests. This isolationist stance has had concrete effects on various programs and funding dedicated to fostering democratic values, especially in regions where authoritarianism is on the rise. According to a report from the Jacksonville Journal-Courier, Trump's foreign policy has left many allies questioning the U.S.'s reliability as a champion of democracy, with some observers suggesting that this has emboldened authoritarian regimes globally. In parallel, the geopolitical rivalry with China has intensified as the Chinese government strategically positions itself as a counterweight to American influence. As highlighted in a recent analysis by the American conservative, China's leadership has adopted a long-term approach to bolster its global standing, often employing tactics reminiscent of the ancient strategy game Weiqi or Go. This methodology emphasizes patience and calculated moves to outmaneuver opponents, reflecting a broader ambition to reshape international norms to align with its interests. The United States finds itself at a crossroads, grappling with how to respond effectively to these developments. As outlined by political analysts, the challenge lies in reconciling the need for a robust defense of democratic values with the realities of an increasingly multipolar world. The Trump administration's approach has sparked debates within American policy circles regarding the efficacy of traditional diplomatic engagement versus a more transactional style. Moreover, the implications of this strategic shift extend beyond diplomatic rhetoric. The U.S. has seen a reduction in funding for organizations that promote democracy and human rights, which has had a ripple effect on grassroots movements in various countries. For instance, many emerging democracies that previously relied on American support to counter authoritarianism now face increased vulnerability. The weakening of U.S. influence has not gone unnoticed, with several nations pivoting towards China or Russia for economic and political support. Looking ahead, the trajectory of U.S. foreign policy remains uncertain. As the Biden administration seeks to recalibrate its approach, the question of how to reinvigorate America's role as a champion of democracy will be critical. The challenge will be to navigate a complex international landscape where the dynamics of power are shifting, and the traditional levers of influence may not yield the same results as in the past. As the world watches, the United States must confront the dual challenge of maintaining its democratic ideals while adapting to a new reality where global influence is contested. The coming years will likely reveal whether the U.S. can effectively reclaim its position as a leader in promoting democratic values or whether it will cede that role to other rising powers. The outcome will have profound implications not only for the future of democracy worldwide but also for the stability of international relations in an increasingly interconnected world. In a groundbreaking initiative set to reshape our understanding of climate change and its global implications, scientists have launched the Terra Polar Station, a $23 million Arctic mission aimed at uncovering the mysteries hidden beneath the ice. Scheduled to run from 2025 to 2046. This ambitious project will involve a team of 18 individuals, including scientists, artists, physicians, journalists, and sailors, who will live and work in a drifting research station for the majority of its operational lifespan. The Terra Polar Station is designed to remain anchored in the ice for 90% of its expedition time, presenting a novel alternative to traditional ice camps that often face perilous conditions in a rapidly warming Arctic. Chris Bowler of the Terra Ocean Foundation emphasized the urgency of this mission, stating, "We have basically no information," which he notes is alarming given the fragility of the Arctic environment and the speed at which it is changing. The mission aims to gather critical data during the winter months, specifically from November to February, a time when scientific observations are scarce due to extreme weather and hazardous conditions. The research conducted at the Terra Polar Station will focus on the profound impacts of melting sea ice and pollution on the unique ecosystems of the Arctic. Bowler elaborated on the project's scope, mentioning efforts to discover new molecules and species as well as enhance our understanding of biodiversity on Earth. The inspiration was really to build a shelter that could shelter scientists through the polar night through an entire season in the Arctic, he explained, emphasizing the need for a robust and psychologically resilient team capable of withstanding the harshest of environments. The significance of this mission cannot be overstated, as the Arctic warms nearly 4 times faster than the global average. It serves as a critical indicator of broader climate trends. Recent reports from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration (NOAA) highlighted that March 2025 saw the lowest recorded sea ice extent for that month, underscoring the urgency of understanding these changes. The consequences of Arctic transformations extend far beyond its icy borders, with potential implications for global sea levels and coastal regions. For instance, certain projections suggest that parts of North Carolina and low-lying areas like the Florida Keys could face submersion under worst-case climate scenarios. The Terra Ocean Foundation is not only focused on immediate research but also advocates for long-term solutions to mitigate the impacts of climate change. Transitioning to renewable energy sources and reducing reliance on fossil fuels are essential steps in addressing the phenomena affecting the Arctic. Individual actions such as adopting solar energy, upgrading to energy-efficient heating systems, and choosing electric vehicles can collectively contribute to a more sustainable future. As the Terra Polar Station embarks on its pioneering journey, it stands as a testament to the collaborative spirit of science and its role in addressing one of the most pressing challenges of our time. The insights gained from this mission have the potential to inform global policy and inspire future generations of scientists and environmental advocates. The next 2 decades may prove crucial not only for the Arctic but for the planet as a whole, as we confront the realities of a warming world and strive to protect its delicate ecosystems.